1880. The deadly sound of a six-shooter in the hand of the desperado had become almost commonplace in the West. Men were shot down, robberies committed, and bands of marauders and renegades roamed the small frontier towns, looting, burning, and plundering. When the bandits were captured, they were often turned loose because witnesses feared to come forward. This made the lawman's job, the job of keeping law and order in the community, almost impossible. Tombstone, Arizona Territory, October 20, 1880, early morning.
Help me. Help me. I can't make it. My leg.
Help him. I'd be glad to help him.
Chalky! Chalky! You murdered my brother. You dirty, filthy...
What happened? Well? Didn't anybody see anything? This one's still alive, Clay. Barney Dager. And brother Chalky. This is really going to be rough on their sister. Give me a hand.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory. Clay Hollister, sheriff of Tombstone, had gone in pursuit of the gang that had robbed the saloon, killed the owner, and left two of their own members behind, one dead and one dying. The gang had vanished, and the witnesses to the crime refused to come forward to identify the killers. Later the same day, mid-morning, October 20.
Whoa! I'm Sherry Dager. My brothers, where are they?
Chalky's dead. Barney's in the cell in the back. Doc Cunningham's with him right now. Wait here. I'll see if it's all right. Is he well enough to see his sister? Miss Dagger?
Barney.
How is he, Doc?
Bad. He's ready to be a undertaker's guest now.
Will you do me a favor?
Anything you say, Clay.
Keep Chalky's condition under your hat.
Be careful it doesn't explode in your face. I don't know what you got planned, but don't count on Barney. He won't be around that long. I'm sorry I had to hear that, Miss Dagger. Real sorry.
I'm sorry, too. If there's anything I can do to make it easier for you.
You can let me take him home where he belongs. I don't want him to die in jail.
Barney's a member of a gang who robbed and killed the saloon keeper this morning.
And he's paying for it with his life. First Chalky and now Barney. Let me take him home, please.
I'm sorry, Miss Dagger. I can't do that.
Why? What difference does it make if he dies here or at home?
Might make a lot of difference.
To who? You?
Yes, to me. And to you, and maybe the whole rest of the town.
I don't care about the rest of the town. I only care about Barney.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem. Nobody around here cares about anybody else. And people get shot down in the street every day because of that. Well, maybe Barney can help me put an end to it.
Barney?
He owes something to the territory. Let him pay his debt.
He's dying. You talk like this?
When a man helps to commit murder and robbery, it makes him a criminal. It's my business to understand that. It's your business, too.
Barney's not a criminal. He's young. So is Chalky. They made their mistakes, but they didn't mean anything. They would have straightened out.
Yeah? Well, tell that to the saloon keeper.
He was a gambler. He was as bad as the others. A man who took advantage of drunks and fools.
But he was a man with as much right to live as anybody else. Barney and Chalky helped to take that right away from him. Look, Miss Dagger, you can't excuse some people and not others. If you do, the law becomes meaningless.
If it treats everybody the same, it is meaningless. And if you think that way too, you're meaningless. You're just an empty shell of a man standing on a mountaintop. Well, I hope it gets lonely there.
You ever stand all alone on a mountaintop, Quint?
Sometimes that's the only place where a man can think. Yeah, I've been there.
I think I'll go over to the epitaph and see Harris. Keep an eye on things, will you? Keep everybody away from him.
Including his sister?
She isn't everybody.
Fastest issue of the epitaph I ever got out. Thanks to you, I don't get to sell a single copy.
Just so long as the story sells. And I think our buyer just got here.
Who is he?
I think he's a member of the gang. If he is, he'll be a direct line to the others.
Planning on following him? I mean going after them?
Oh, Harris, I haven't got any proof. Besides, after that article, I think they'll be looking for me and Barney. And I'd rather have them here than me there.
Yeah. Judging from the looks of him, I don't blame you.
I think you sold your story.
You and your fancy knife throwing. Maybe you need a little more practice.
I hip what I am, Paul.
Yeah? Barney's recovering. He's going to identify us. It's all over the front page of the paper. Never leave a wounded man behind to testify, he says. Too bad you didn't use the knife on Barney, too. Go ahead.
No. When the odds change, I stop playing. Now, let's talk about Barney Dagan and his sister Sherry.
Killing a woman is where I draw the line.
Killing? Who said anything about killing? There's some people who are far more useful alive. Miss Dagan is one of them. And this editor fellow might very well be another. I'm quite sure he's a pillar of Tombstone society.
You touch the editor and you're a dead man. Hollister will come after you.
Exactly, but he'll have Barney with him. Now, if the editor means so much to Hollister and to the town, I'm quite sure they'd be very glad to exchange Barney for him.
Yeah, well, how are we going to get the editor to come here?
We'll persuade him one way or the other. And then we have to pay a little visit to Miss Dagan. She has to persuade Hollister to exchange Barney for the editor. Or we kill the editor. Of course, unfortunately for him, he'll be dead as soon as it's all over. But then, so will Barney. Then there'll be nobody left who will dare offer to testify against Dirk Padella again.
Yeah. Mr. Cliven?
Yeah?
Now listen carefully. There's a gun trained on you across the street. Take your time. Turn around slow. And look up toward the roof of that building. There's two more besides that one on the street. Mine and another one near Dunbar Stable.
What do you want?
He'll be covered all the way. Go to Dunbar's, pick up your horse, and ride out of town. Past Fremont first, and wait. And don't look for help from your friend Hollister. We waited for him to make his afternoon rounds. He's on the other side of town.
And you came to my ranch to tell me that?
I thought it was easier than having you visit me where you might be followed.
And if I don't persuade Clay Hollister to make the exchange?
Then Barney will probably die. Oh, no, I won't kill him. I like Barney. He's a good man. But if he stays in jail, state's witness or not, he'll undoubtedly swing for the murder of the saloon keeper.
I don't believe you.
That's your privilege. There's one other thing. If the exchange isn't effective within 24 hours, Your esteemed editor is going to be dead. Let's see what he has to say about that.
Don't do it, he's lying. They'll kill me anyway.
Now I presume that you'll talk to Hollister?
October 20, 1885. A long day. And a day Sheriff Clay Hollister and the citizens of Tombstone would never forget.
He isn't anywhere in town, Clay. I've looked everywhere. If you were going somewhere, he would have told somebody. Left somebody in charge of the office. He usually does. Where are you going? Over to Dunbar's. If he was only in town, he had to go by horse or buggy. Maybe they know something about it.
I've got to talk to you.
All right, go ahead, talk.
Not here. Oh, please, Sheriff. It's about Barney and the editor.
All right. You said you wanted to talk about Barney and the editor?
They're holding the editor hostage.
Who? Who's holding him?
The men in the gang that Barney and Chalky belong to.
Where are they now?
I don't know. They came to my ranch. They had Mr. Clybourne with them. They said that if you didn't exchange him with Barney, they'd kill the editor.
What is it all they said?
No. They said that if Barney stayed in jail, he'd hang for the murder of the saloon keeper.
Is that why you've come here?
I saw what they did to the editor. They beat him, but he's still alive, and I think he will be until they're through with him. I remembered what you said this morning about nobody caring about anyone else. And I suddenly realized you were right. I was wrong. Barney and Chalky were wrong. And now an innocent man is suffering because of it.
And that's why you came here.
Yes.
All right. You tell him I'll make the exchange, but on my terms. I'll have Barney at Chalky's funeral at Boot Hill Cemetery tomorrow. Tell him to have the editor there. That's where I'll make the exchange. Now I think you better see Barney.
Boot Hill, huh? Yeah, we'll be there with the editor. You know, he almost came back last night to see you, but decided against it. My friends are afraid of ghosts in the dark. We decided it'd be better in the daylight where we can see as well as being seen. And for once, I'm very glad I agreed with them. You look much better dressed like that. Softer and sleepy. I like it.
Thank you.
I shall be seeing you again.
I'll be looking forward to it. This morning. Boot Hill.
That's right. I'll be there. We'll all be there at poor Chalky's funeral. Good day, ma'am.
Hardly seems right somehow. Going to a funeral to pay your respects to the dead, wearing guns. Well, those guns keep a lot of people from paying their respects to you. I guess that's about it. You ready? Yep. Let's go. wreck?
Barney ain't with him.
Where'd you expect him to be? Dancing a jig in the streets? It's his brother's funeral. Barney's where he should be, in the buggy with his sister. Untie his hands. Take the gag out. We wouldn't want Hollister to think we've been mistreating his friends, would we?
Wait here.
I don't see Barney.
He's here, just like I promised you.
In the buggy?
No, in the hearse. Barney's dead. Harris!
Broken. Too bad. Clear. Havana tobacco. Rolled especially. For me.
You could have lied to me yesterday about Barney. I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you told me then that Barney was dead. It helped make today a lot easier. Thank you.
No, thank you. In a town just full of people depending on other people, you were the only one who offered to help. That might make it easier from now on. You know, I'm going to be thinking about you. That, might make me feel a little bit less like that man standing alone on his mountaintop. Well, you sure got your faith in human nature restored fast. Stick around. A couple of years you may be old enough to understand.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory, March 6, 1886.
Wait!
Oh, Barris.
I was going to ask you to ride out with me, but I see you're busy.
Just doing the rounds. Right out where?
Going out to meet Sam Barrett. Thought I'd ride in with him.
Sam Barrett?
The newspaper man. Finest in the West.
Oh, I thought you were, Harris.
I've been writing about him for a week. Don't you read my...
You go on ahead. I'm going to stay around here. I got some things to do.
Sure. I'll see you later.
Oh, when I get settled in, I'd like to meet him.
Welcome to Tombstone, Sam. An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory. Sam Barrett, a newspaperman from Denver, had been welcomed to Tombstone by a committee of one. A gunman who had shot and killed him on the road a few miles out of town. Pete! Barrett.
Where'd you find him?
Outside of town a few miles. I saw it play.
You saw who killed him?
Vic Reel.
The man who works for Douglas Jason. Pete, get our horses. You and I are going to ride out to Jason's place. Where have you been? Don't talk to me like a 2-year-old, Jason. Talk? I'll kill you if you do it again. Where have you been? I've been out, riding around. Where have you been riding? Denver. I rode to Denver and I told the marshal that the Taylor gang's in Tombstone. I told him all that money from those train robberies is buried right here on the ranch. I told him because I want to hang. Get back to the barn and go to work. Wait a minute. What's Jess doing coming back here? How do I know?
The man ambushed riding into town. That newspaper editor saw the whole thing. He was there.
Nobody was there. He's lying. You did it. You got the law on us. You made 4 years count for nothing.
Get down off that horse, Jess. Get down! Get down, Jess. Come on, get inside. Move. So now I've gotten me some orders to give Jason. You too, Jesse, and that goes for the rest of the boys.
You better give them fast, Vic. That sheriff is going to come riding in here any minute now.
And you're gonna take care of him for me.
I am?
Yeah, you are. Just like my brother took care of you. He sat in that jail, and he waited, and he hanged, and he didn't talk.
Your brother didn't take any chance that I didn't, or that you or Jess here didn't.
Well, like I said, he didn't talk, and he could have.
We would have helped him, if we could have.
We didn't hang him, Vic. I know you didn't. Sam Barrett did. Sam Barrett, the Denver newspaper man. You remember him, don't you? Ah, he did some fine, fancy preaching in that newspaper of his, didn't he? Ben's life, or innocent lives lost in a Taylor gang robberies. In case you forgot, the people listened to him, and they hanged Ben.
So you had to kill Sam Barrett. No matter what it cost us. All of us.
It wasn't supposed to cost nothing, Jason. I didn't plan on nobody seeing it happen.
They're here now, the sheriff and the deputy.
Now, you listen to me close, Jason. You too, Jesse. You get that newspaper man, you hear? Ain't gonna be no proof without no witness. I'm gonna go with the sheriff for 2 days. 2 days. And then I start talking. I tell all I know about the Taylor gang.
None of us could afford that. Put the gun away. You'll be out before 2 days.
Mr. Jason?
Sheriff Hollister.
I want to talk to your man here.
To Vic?
To Vic. You're under arrest. The charge is murder. Sam Barrett.
Well, you must be joking, Sheriff.
Barrett was ambushed on his way into town. There was a witness. He saw you.
Now, wait a minute. Who's Sam Barrett?
Just a man. Let's go.
Sheriff, Vic has worked for me ever since I've been in the territory. He's a good man. You're wrong.
We'll find out at the trial. Now, Mr. Jason, I don't know you very well, but I probably will before this is over. You can be very helpful if you want to.
I don't like it, Jason.
Oh, we'll get him out, Jess. We'll get him out, as you'll wish he were back in. Vic Real is a dead man, any way you look at it.
You're gonna hang, Real.
For what?
I don't know why you did it, but you'll hang.
You're out of your mind, newsman. You trying to sell a few papers, you better look for something else.
Hey, you dirty!
Tell him to get his hands off me, Hollister. Tell him!
Pete!
Your aim's still good.
Huh?
I asked whether your aim was still good.
Yeah, that's still good.
All right.
and get that newsman. We have to do as our friend Vic says.
But why me? Why not Red or...
Because I said you.
So it started all over again, huh? I don't like it. 4 years now and no trouble. And now it's starting all over again.
This is the last. So your aim is still good, huh?
When, Jason?
Tonight. I know it seems meaningless, Harris, but everything has to have a reason.
Then what is it? There was no robbery committed, and Sam Barrett didn't have any enemies. At least not out here.
There was a motive. There had to be. This wasn't just a thrill killing. If Real had wanted that, he would have found something in Tombstone. He didn't need Barrett for that.
Then why Sam?
I don't know. But I'm going to find out.
Anything I can do to help, Clay?
No, you just get your paper out. Something will show up. For all these telegrams we've sent out, something's got to happen.
We could use a little luck.
Yeah, that's generally what we get. A very little.
March 8, 1886, early morning. Douglas Jason's plan of murder had failed. Vic Real was still lodged in the Tombstone jail, and Clay Hollister was taking every precaution to see that he remained there until he stood trial for the killing of Sam Barrett.
Jason has 3 or 4 other men beside Real. You know anything about them?
Yeah, but no more than you do, only by sight.
Well, that does it. All the flyers over 4 years old. Nothing there.
Why all of a sudden interest in Doug Jason and his men?
Real has no other associations in Tombstone except them. Now, he kills a man. And somebody takes a pot shot at the only witness who can identify him as a murderer. He's important to somebody. When I find out more about his past, I'll know who.
You think Jason could be involved?
Well, anything is possible. What do we know about him?
Not very much. Came to Tombstone 4 years ago, before either one of us did.
And nobody from town has ever been out to his ranch. All the men he hired are supposedly from different parts of the country, and they never come into town, so we don't know anything about them.
Yeah. Well, I've wired every news source I have.
Yeah, and all my official ones. You know, Harris, this is something more than just a senseless murder.
How's the shoulder?
Gonna live, Pete. Thanks.
No replies at the telegraph office yet.
Old Jake's been doing more sending than he did when the governor was here.
He wants to know when you sleep.
Don't remind me.
You know, Axe's food hasn't gotten a bit better.
Boy, you sure are hard to please. You should feel yourself lucky that you're here to eat it at all. Listen to me. I got an idea.
What's that, Clay?
I got a hunch I know who's behind this. I think I can force him to make a move. One last time, Real. Why'd you kill Barrett? You answer, you're going to save a lot of bloodshed.
You don't make good sense, Sheriff.
Look, boy, it's all over for you. You're going to stand trial tomorrow, and you'll take what punishment the judge and jury decide is right for you. But you got a chance to do a decent thing. Maybe even save a life.
You get out of here, Sheriff. I don't have to talk to you about nothing. You think you got it all figured out, haven't you? Well, there you go. Be surprised.
You're the one who's going to be surprised. I have got it figured out.
Vic Reel had refused to talk, and Clay Hollister, in an effort to uncover the motive behind the killing of Sam Barrett, decided on a plan of action. Douglas Jason was to be the starting point.
It's a fine-looking cattle, Jason. Ought to bring a good price. Must be money in ranching. I decided I'm going to get myself one.
Why not? You figuring on grabbing your share and leaving?
Yep.
Well, it's time for it. Where are you heading?
Mexico?
There's just one more thing to be done. Vic. You'll be out soon. Why don't you take him with you? Long, hard ride to Mexico? Anything could happen on the way.
No.
What do you mean, no?
I took care of that newspaper man. That's it. That was the last. I got money now. I'm like you. I'm going to live right.
After you take care of Vic. Nobody else leaves the ranch, not yet. Nothing unusual is going to happen. Everything stays just the same.
What do I get out of it?
What we all get. No more trouble. A ranch in Mexico.
All right. But I swear this is the last. What does he want?
Who?
The sheriff.
Back to work.
Mr. Jason,
Oh, Sheriff.
one of your men told me you were out here in the barn.
What can I do for you?
Leo's trial starts tomorrow. We have a lot of questions we'd like to ask you. I told you could be very helpful.
Tomorrow?
Yes, the circuit judge rides in the morning, and Reel will be the first order of business. You see, somebody's trying to stop this trial before it gets started. So I figure the sooner the better.
Who's trying to stop it?
I don't know, but somebody took a pot shot at my witness last night. Luckily, he wasn't killed.
Well, I'm afraid I can't help you, Sheriff. Vic has only worked for me a couple of years.
4. 4 years.
Yes, about. I mind my own business. I don't know much about Vic, but what he does is really his own affair.
Well, be at the trial anyway, 11 o'clock.
Oh, I'll be there. I don't like trouble, Sheriff.
Neither do I. So there's not going to be any. I have my witness in protective custody, and I'm riding out this afternoon to see the judge safely into town. See you tomorrow.
I asked Red to round you up fast for a reason. The Taylor gang has one last job to do.
Wait a minute, Jason. You never told us that.
Shut up and listen, Red.
The man who saw Reel kill Sam Barrett is still alive. He was only wounded. Sheriff has him in jail in protective custody.
Then let Jess go back and do it right. Why should we stick our necks out?
Shut up and listen. Reel goes on trial tomorrow. Sheriff is riding out to meet the judge this afternoon. He won't be back till tomorrow morning. You all know what'll happen if that trial ever gets started. Because once they start asking questions, they'll never stop.
Then let's clear out now. Let's split the money and go.
No. Said no then for sure. They got us all identified. There'll be no more hiding out. We gotta do it, Red.
Do what?
Well, keep your mouth shut and listen, I'll tell you. We get the witness and Vic and anybody else in that jail that can identify us.
They'll know we did it.
How? They'll have nothing to go on, Red. This is going to be very good, like a citizens committee, all worked up by this newsman's editorials. The citizens will simply be taking justice into their own hands. The editor will get killed accidentally. I don't want a lot of stuff in the newspapers every day about why did this happen and who's behind it.
Who takes care of Vic?
Well, we all do.
How?
We hang him. Right in his own cell. Just as a good citizens committee would do.
We're all set here.
How about it? You still think it'll work?
Oh, I sure hope so. Pete?
Yeah.
Come on in here a minute, will you? Harris, I'll bet my last dollar that Barrett's killing is going to uncover something real big.
Yeah, Clay.
I want to go over this just one more time. Now remember, the main thing is for you not to make a move until I do.
Dawn, March 9, 1886.
Tell your men to drop their guns. You're surrounded. I've got you in a crossfire.
Drop your pistol.
Butcher's Taylor Gang.
Couldn't be much bigger, could it?
Now watch. Say, how's her shoulder?
Oh, fine. You know, the Taylor Gang was one of the most notorious train robbery crews in the West. And they say it was Sam Barrett's newspaper crusade that made them stop. I only wish you could have known this.
Well, maybe he does.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
July 24, 1883. Tombstone, Arizona Territory.
Harris? Quint? Clay, I'm glad you're back. There's something you ought to know. Fine, in a minute. First, I want you to meet somebody. This game on a hand, Harris Clyburn, head of the Epitaph. It's my deputy, Quint.
Miss Monahan?
All right, Smokey, line him out. Here, Clay. Miss Monahan's a lawyer from the East. He's come out here to practice.
Well, welcome to Tombstone, Miss Monahan.
Thank you.
Miss Monahan? We'll stop by my office first. I'll take you over to your rooms at the Russ house.
Clay, listen,
I got you covered, Big Jim. Stand right where you are. Don't move any closer. Keep your hands away from your guns. Now, you're going to eat these lies you gave to the paper about me. You're going to take them back. What's it going to be, Big Jim? This or this?
It's going to be either one.
Are you on his side, too?
I'm not on anybody's side.
That includes your side, too, mister. Now, you stay out of this, Clay. I'm warning you.
I want to see you down at the office. Harris?
Come on.
Who knows, Sheriff? You might have just saved my life. It was Feeney's life that I was trying to save. I don't know you, mister, but I think you should know that in Tombstone we like even odds, especially in a gunfight.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory.
Maybe I was a little overly excited at first, but I ain't excited now, and it's about time you got back from where you've been. I want you to arrest Clyburn here and Big Jim Gerson for printing them lies about me.
Feeney, I was quoting Gerson. That's my duty as a newspaper man. That doesn't mean I hold with his views.
Well, listen to this. Big Jim Gerson, president and principal stockholder of the Congress Mine, has dispensed with the services of Feeney Spindler, mine superintendent, since the strike was made 3 years ago. Gerson returned for the first time in 2 years from the east, where he's been making his home, to investigate an alleged slump in the ore output from the Congress. No charges will be brought to bear. What, that's the same thing as calling me a thief.
Possibly slander and libel.
What was that?
Nothing. Just thinking out loud.
Besides, there ain't been no slump in the output from the Congress. I ought to know. I've been there myself all the time.
You know, Feeney, what you need's a lawyer, not a sheriff. Miss Monahan here just happens to be one.
One what?
A lawyer.
You mean she's a female lawyer?
If your statements are factual, Mr. Spindler, I would suggest you're serving Mr. Gerson immediately with a writ, ordering a cease mining operation until you can arrange for a hearing before the board of directors of the mine.
You would?
Yes. And mind you, I'm speaking as a registered member of the Vermont Bar.
Bar?
The Lawyers Association. And one of the finest in the country.
Why don't you leave it that way?
Sir?
I guess most men like girls with curls.
Well, I am not interested in what most men like, Mr. Clybourne. I adhere strictly to the rule, never mix business with pleasure. If you're interested in retaining me, Mr. Spindler, the writ will be ready first thing in the morning.
Well, I don't know. I ain't never seen a lawyer before who didn't wear pants.
Your meaning is quite clear.
All right. It's a deal. You're hired.
Fine. Sheriff?
Ma'am?
If you will bring a witness, preferably someone not associated with the law, you can call for the writ in the morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Good day, gentlemen.
I ain't never caught much of women myself. That's why I never got married.
It occurs to me that a bachelor misses something.
Well, take a look at that, would you? You know where that ice wagon's been? Up to the Congress, that's where. After returning from 2 years in the East, Mr. Gerson has to have his ice every day. Yes, sir.
Gerson has a private supply of ice stored in the ice house for his own use exclusively.
That ice house is practically overflowing with it.
Ice. Grown man like Big Jim Gerson taking his drinks mixed with ice in them. It's downright improper.
Harris, there's no need for both of us to go in. I'll just go see if she's out.
Oh, Miss Monahan is up. I'll just wait here and watch and listen.
Uh-huh. Morning.
Why, I must look a sight. It took longer than I planned. Almost all night, in fact. Oh, you'll have to have this court approved. Just any presiding signature will do.
Any presiding signature?
Yes. I mean a judge. Just any presiding judge. Sheriff? Is there something the matter?
Oh, nothing I can think of, ma'am. It's just your hair. I kind of like it this way. Morning, ma'am.
Sheriff, well, I often wear my hair this way. Well, I wouldn't want you to think that I had rearranged my hairdo just for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Clay, wait for me. I'm going along. Don't tell me there's a law again it because I know there ain't. I just want to see Gerson's face when you serve that writ on him.
All right, let's just get this approved.
away.
Clay Hollister, you make me sick. Why don't you let me shoot? Well, mostly because you're a bad shot.
Want to see Gerson? Come ahead!
Sorry, Sheriff. Just a morning shot. Didn't know it was you.
Not much you didn't know it was us. I'd like to see you flat instead of upright right now.
Yeah. There's going to be no trouble. I told you that before. And the first person who starts it will answer to me.
Bravo, Sheriff. Spoken like a man of conviction. Oh, you are a man of conviction, aren't you, Sheriff?
I'm convinced about some things. Others I let ride until they're proven. I'm hoping that this will help prove something.
Feeney, you're stale. Not old, just stagnant. Why, you haven't grown with an idea since I first met you. As far as I'm concerned, you or any other man without growth might just as well be dead.
Well, I'll show you how dead I am.
Harris. Mr. Gerson, ideas don't always help a man grow. Boot Hill is just full of small men with big ideas.
Here comes the ice wagon, Mr. Gerson.
It's a long, dry ride back. Before you go, perhaps you'd like a drink, chilled with ice.
That's where I'd like to see you, Gerson, on ice. If you don't keep that gun-happy squirrel of yours away from me, that's where he'll end up, on ice. I'll see to it personally.
Perhaps some other time.
There'll be another time.
Looks like maybe Newton was wrong.
Newton?
Yeah, Sir Isaac. According to his theory, a wagon with ice should make a deeper track than a wagon without ice.
These tracks leading out are deeper.
Maybe Newton knew what he was talking about.
July 25, 1883.
Gerson? I already have. Come on, I can't get in with you standing in front of it. Down here, Sheriff. Yeah, he's frozen to death. Must have been there all night.
I was in town. I heard you were looking for me.
Yes, I'd like you to make an identification.
Dusty. Frozen solid.
Must have been hit on the head before he was deposited here.
Dusty's a good man. Have you arrested Feeney yet? Now, both you and Clyburn were there yesterday when Feeney threatened to do this.
I don't usually arrest a man just for making threats.
Oh? But you do arrest people for murder, don't you, Sheriff?
Usually.
Good. Then you can detain Feeney. You can also tell the prosecution that I'll be at the trial as a witness.
But this whole thing's a frame-up! I tell you, I'm innocent!
Mr. Spindler, you are merely being detained, not arrested for murder. But if you don't stop shouting and help, it's just possible that you might hang.
I tell you, I'm innocent!
There it is. Let's go.
Bird! Come on down. Give me the line. You know, you don't look so well, boy.
Why? I feel all right.
Oh, well, a lot of people feel all right, and then just like that, they're gone. But you needs a little rest. We're going to see that you get it.
Sheriff, what can I do for you?
Urge Gray isn't feeling too well. I'm helping him out with his ice delivery.
Now, that's real nice of you, Sheriff, but we don't need any ice today. Still got plenty left over from yesterday.
You sure?
Mm-hmm, quite sure.
Well, then maybe you'd like something delivered back to town?
No, nothing, thanks.
Anytime.
What do you think? Well, of course, the tracks are lighter since we dumped the ice, Clay.
Yeah. Seems like this is the first time Gearson hasn't had something delivered back to town. Something heavier than ice.
All right, Birch, let's go.
Come on, open it up. Glenn, take that side. I'll go down here.
You won't find anything in here, Sheriff.
For your sake, I hope you're right.
Don't anybody go for guns, or you'll die a little sooner.
Let me see your back.
That's close enough, Sheriff. Drop your gun, Bill. The pick. That large center block of ice, chip into it.
Full of silver ingots?
Like the Sphinx, I thought my secret was safe.
It was, up until now.
More over here, Clay.
That's right, Sheriff. A great deal more. Enough to retire for a lifetime in style. 2 lifetimes, matter of fact. You see, I'm meeting a very charming lady in Mexico. I can't waste much more time. Kelly, get that stuff loaded.
But what about afterwards?
Oh, afterwards, it's going to be very cold, but you ain't going to feel it, Burge.
I won't feel it.
Now, with the door shut, it's soundproof in here. Now, you're going to have to die sooner or later, Verge. Take a choice.
Please help me, Sheriff. I had nothing to do with this killing. Please help me.
Ain't no help, Verge.
With you in a minute.
Well?
Well. Do you mean to say that you've had that in your trunk all the time?
You see, I thought it was important for me to prove myself as a lawyer. But I've discovered it's equally as important to prove myself as a woman.
Care for a postgraduate course?
Maybe. If I have time.
Time?
Yes. A friend of mine is arriving. Pemberton Brockway III. He's from home.
Army?
No. Military school. The uniforms are exciting, aren't they? You give up awfully easy.
Give up? I'm just wondering where I could get a uniform.
Some people don't need them.
matter? You look like you just lost your best friend.
Who needs friends? Hey, Quint. You don't happen to have a uniform, do you?
No, why? Hey, you aren't thinking of joining up, are you?
No.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory, June 3, 1884.
How's business been tonight?
Glad we don't have to depend on this for a living.
What do you mean I've held up? I just found myself a silver mine worth millions, and I'm going to celebrate proud.
I'll take care of it.
Now hand me one of them bottles. Now, that's fancy.
Give me the gun, Hal. Come on, hand it over.
I was just joking, Lily.
I know.
I'll take him to the sheriff.
He's gonna get some sleep.
I'm not finished celebrating.
You better watch out. The celebrating will finish you. Come on.
You mad at me, Lily?
No.
Still partners?
That was the agreement when I grub-staked you.
And you're just as rich as I am. Why don't the two of us have just a tiny little... No?
No. You better get some sleep. Now, good night.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory. June 4, 1884. The killing of miner Hal Swanson led to an immediate investigation by Clay Hollister, who had long suspected the person and motive behind such killings. In an effort to gain proof, he formulated a daring plan of action.
Vic? Here's that note for Tulsa Jack.
You won't have any trouble finding him. He'll be in Skeleton Canyon working his diggings. After that, you better ride on fast. We expect to be in Tucson by Wednesday.
Where's your deputy headed?
Trial in Tucson?
Oh. I thought maybe you had a lead on the Hal Swanson killing.
Maybe I have.
Hey, wait a second. What's the story?
Well, you can tell your readers that I expect to arrest Swanson's murderer in the near future.
I always have that set up. No kidding. Have you really got a lead?
Yeah, I think so. I just don't like where it leads.
Well?
Harris, who would you say is the most popular, best-liked woman in Tombstone?
Nellie Cashman.
No, I mean outside of Nellie.
Well, Lily Murdoch, I guess.
That's right.
Well, what's that got to do with... Lily Murdoch? You're not serious.
I checked the records at the courthouse and the claims office last night. In the last 3 months, 4 miners have been killed and 2 others have disappeared. And all of them either grub-staked by Lily or with a will made out in her benefit.
Clay Lily couldn't be mixed up in...
I just said she might be.
Well, there's no motive. Lily doesn't care a hang for money. Look what she gives to the Miners Protective and the Orphans Fund.
I know, but you've got to face the fact that 6 men either died or disappeared and Lily benefited.
Where are you going?
I'm going to go talk to her. You know, I've heard if you get a woman mad enough, she's just liable to tell the truth.
Oh, she'll get mad, all right. Clay.
Yeah?
Lily Murdoch has a lot of friends. A lot of power in town. Suppose, well, just suppose you do find out she's involved in these killings.
Well?
Do you suppose you could prove it before you got run out of town?
This looks all right, Matt. Anything else?
Whitehead's offered $55,000 on Swanson's claim.
We're not ready to discuss price on that yet.
That's what I told him, but he...
Come in. Well, Hollister, good morning.
Morning. I hope I'm not interrupting.
We just finished. The rest of it can wait, Matt.
Yes, Miss Murdoch.
Matt? Well, Sheriff, this visit social or official?
Official, ma'am.
We can be official and comfortable at the same time, can't we?
Yes, ma'am. Miss Murdoch, there's hardly a miner in Tombstone that you haven't grub-staked at one time or another. And when you do, you enter into a 50-50 partnership with him, don't you?
Well, that's customary, isn't it? May I offer you something, Sheriff?
Oh, no, thank you. If the miner should die, do you automatically inherit his half of the partnership?
Only if he wants it that way.
Like Hal Swanson?
Well, yes. I use the money to grub-stake other miners, or I give it to charity.
You've been very generous.
As far as I'm concerned, Sheriff, money has only one real value, and that's for people to use.
I see. Miss Murdoch, you're an intelligent woman. Haven't you any idea why I'm asking you all these questions?
To be perfectly honest, not the faintest.
The person who benefits from a murder usually expects to be questioned, even if he or she has nothing to do with it.
What do you mean?
Recently, 6 miners have either been murdered or killed in what appeared to be accidents. In each case, you benefited by the death.
Do you mean that you think that somehow I engineered these accidents or killings or whatever they were? Well, that's the silliest nonsense I ever heard of. How dare you accuse me?
I haven't accused you.
And you better not if you don't want to make a fool out of yourself.
Miss Murdoch, I once knew a man by the name of Asa Watkins. He was a...
Now, why should I do such a thing? I certainly have plenty of money.
Well, Mr. Watkins didn't need any money either. He was the bank clerk in my hometown. A modest, obscure little man who never spent a dime on himself, but he loved to help other people. Gave generously to the church, sent kids through college, paid for operations, supported needy families. Everybody loved him. But after his death, it was discovered that during his lifetime, he'd embezzled more than $60,000 from the bank.
Get out of here. I said get out of here.
You see, Mr. Watkins wanted so much to be loved and admired that he became a thief.
Wait. I have a lot of friends in Arizona, Mr. Hollister. Some of them important, like the governor. Some of them not so important.
I realize that.
You've insinuated things here that you can't prove. But my position, my success here, depends on my reputation for honesty and fair play. If you do anything to damage that reputation, I'll turn you out of office and have you run out of town.
But at least we understand each other. Good day, Miss Lily.
Did you hear?
He can't prove anything.
He could start a lot of talk.
Who'd believe him?
There are always people ready to believe anything.
Well, what do we do?
Sailor still in town?
Saw him yesterday.
Good. Find Sailor.
Who is he?
Gunslinger by the name of Sailor.
What do you have against you?
He was for hire.
June 5, 1884. Clay Hollister had deliberately set out to arouse Lily Murdoch's wrath, and he had been successful. A few hours later, an attempt was made on his life.
If you're so sure Lily hired that fellow last night, why aren't you doing something about it?
I am.
What, for instance?
Waiting?
For her to try again?
Oh, for reinforcements. On his way to Tucson, my deputy was going to deliver a letter.
A letter? Who to?
Tulsa Jack. One of the few miners Lily never had to stake.
Why Tulsa?
I Did a favor for him once. He's going to do one for me now. I hope.
Hooray, boys! I've struck it rich! Struck it rich! Well, boys, I've struck it rich! I've struck it rich! Hey, looky here! I don't nobody stampede but the drinks are on me! Old Tulsa Jack has struck it rich! Come on up, everybody! Come on up! Set 'em up, bartender. Set up the drink for all my friends and all them friends I never laid eyes on. Here's to me. Never had a dime of my own, and now look at me. 10,000 notes and plenty more where that come from. Have a drink, everybody. Come on, keep putting them up there, bartender.
After he's had a few more, bring him up to see Lily.
Well, just like any other creek I ever saw. Just, you could jump over it, you know. It's shallow water and a sandy bottom. And underneath the sand was all this silver. Been collecting there for hundreds of years. Hundreds, maybe thousands of years, you know. Sort of like in the pocket. And now it's in my pocket.
Where is all this, Tulsa?
In Skeleton Canyon, the other side of Charleston.
Oh? I thought your claim was,
Well, no, that's just it, Lily. You see, it wasn't my claim. I don't know who it belonged to, so I had to get the stuff out fast. Loaded what I could in the saddlebags and then hid the rest. What I put in your safe wasn't 1/5 of it. So tomorrow, I'm going to take out horses, pack horses, and bring out the rest.
Well, that's wonderful, Tulsa. It couldn't happen to a nicer person.
You're sweet, too. Well, I got to get back to my friends. You down there where the boys are, they'll be missing me.
I'm sure they will.
Lily, thanks for the drinks. You sure are nice.
Boys?
Oh, the setup couldn't be better.
I don't know. The sheriff's snooping around. I don't want to risk it.
Well, where's the risk? You didn't stake the old boy. There's no connection between you and him. Now, Sam and I'll bring the silver in and nobody'll know.
No, Matt.
Now, look, we've played along. Let you give away half of everything we've taken in.
That's part of the setup.
Yeah, but lately you've been a little too generous. You act like you like throwing money away.
Well, it's paid off, hasn't it? Why do you think people trust me? Would Tulsa talk as freely to anybody else?
Look, the point is, we're the only ones that know. We can keep all of it, Lily, except the stuff he put in the safe. We'll turn that over to the sheriff.
All right. Go ahead, but be careful.
June 6, 1884. Despite a headache of major proportions, Tulsa Jack rented 2 pack mules and headed back out of Tombstone.
Tulsa!
It's about time you showed up. What I have to go through in the name of friendship.
You enjoyed every minute of it and you know it.
Last night, yes, but not now. I wish them meadowlarks wouldn't sing so loud.
Well, there's some cover in those trees up there. Let's go. This ought to be good enough.
How'd it go?
Well, I said everything you wrote me, and I made it sound good. But you're branding the wrong steer, Clay. Lily ain't no crook. She's nice.
Maybe.
Well, I know a good woman when I see one, I'll tell you.
Well, if your eyesight's so good, who's that coming up the trail?
Well, I'll be. Lily's boys.
You don't think they're riding out to Skeleton Canyon for their health, do you?
Well, them
You
dirty...
didn't tell them about the silver, did you?
Oh, no, just Lily. That guy said, looks like he was right. What do we do next?
I'm riding back to town. You stay out of sight. Tomorrow about noon, we're going to give Miss Lily Murdoch the shock of her life. Up on him.
The afternoon of June 7th, 1884.
Who's that? Tulsa Jack?
Yeah. He's been shot. You! Get Doug Cunningham.
Matt, Sam, come in here.
What's the matter?
So Tulsa never showed up.
What are you talking about? Of course he didn't show up.
You're lying. What did you do with the silver?
I tell you, we didn't see any silver. Tulsa didn't show up.
I see. You decided to cut me out and split the silver between you.
Now, wait a minute. Now, look, Lily, put down that gun and listen to me. We didn't find any silver. Tulsa didn't show up.
Really? Then how come his horse just brought him in with a bullet in his back?
What?
Now, I'd give you just 5 seconds to level with me.
Look, Lily.
Your time is just about up. Who is it?
Hollister.
Come in. What do you want, Sheriff?
It's about Tulsa.
Matt's just been telling me he's been hurt.
He was shot in the back.
Oh, no. Is he?
He's in the hospital. He's holding on. He wants to see you.
Of course. I'll go right away.
You better come along, too.
What for?
You'll find out.
Lily,
Right here, Tulsa.
the doc says I ain't got a chance.
Now, that's nonsense, Tulsa. You're gonna be all right.
That silver in your safe is all I got. I want you to have it.
I'll keep it for you, Tulsa, till you're up and around again.
Tulsa. I want you to take a look at these men. Are they the ones that shot you?
Oh, now, what is this?
You loco? We never even seen him before.
Let him answer.
Yeah, them's the one.
He's lying.
Are you positive?
Yeah, they must have heard me talking to Lily.
You're under arrest.
Oh, now, wait a minute,
The victim
Sheriff.
identified you. That's enough for any jury. Turn around.
I'm not going to take this. It's a frame-up.
You want to make a statement?
I got plenty to talk about if it'll keep me from hanging.
Plenty to talk about who?
Never mind, Hollister. Take his guns. Put up your hands.
I underestimated you, Miss Lily. I didn't think you carried a gun.
Good thing I do. I couldn't afford to let Matt talk.
You were in back of these killings then. I was right.
You were right, Sheriff. Dead right. Take him out the back way.
Come on.
Will you join us in my jail, Miss Lily?
You can't prove anything. I've got influence, friends.
Friends have a way of deserting you when you stand trial for 5 or 6 murders. Let's go.
There you are, Tulsa. Keep it as a souvenir.
Really want to thank you for your help.
Well, somebody had to do the job.
It was your testimony convinced the jury.
Yeah, I know. But this town ain't gonna be the same without Lily. You know, she done an awful lot of good. Helped out a lot of folks when they needed it.
Well, what you say is true, but she also was responsible for a lot of killing, Tulsa.
I know, but she was a nice woman. She was an awful nice woman. I'm going to miss her. We're all going to miss her. Yeah, Lily was a nice woman. I don't care what you say, Lily was a darn nice woman. Yeah, she's pretty, too. And her hair, boy, and
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory, November 9, 1883. A quiet, peaceful day. But Sheriff Clay Hollister wasn't lulled by the quiet. From experience, he knew it could be the quiet before a storm. And the storm was brewing a few miles away in the town of Quartz Hill, where Marshal Vern Fawcett was taking one of the notorious Holcomb brothers into custody.
All right, Holcomb. Up. I said up.
You sure you want me to do this, Marshal?
I'm sure. Now get up.
I'm going to make you a deal. You forget all about this. And don't worry about that tin horn that said I did the killing. I'll take care of him. And then I promise you, Marshal, on my honor, nothing will happen to you.
What are you talking about? Do you think...
I don't think anything, lawman. I know. You just don't go around locking up one of us Holcombs. Especially Braid Holcomb. Didn't you hear about that back in Tombstone?
Yeah, I heard about the Holcombs a long time ago. Now let's go.
Then you're just not acting real smart, Marshal. Are you?
We'll see. Now move.
Once you lock me in that jail, you're a dead man. I'm not fooling with you. I'm telling you straight.
I'll take my chances. Now get in there.
You're not taking any chance. I just gave you the only one you're gonna get. But you heard about the Holcombs. I warned you, nobody locks us up. And when they do, they gotta know more than you do. I'm gonna kill you, Marshal. Move.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. November 10, 1883. The news of the killing of Braid Holcomb by lawman Vern Fawcett had just hit the telegraph wires.
Morning, Harris. I guess the normal greeting for a newspaper editor is, any news?
When you're answering a sheriff, the reply usually is, it looks like there's trouble.
Uh-oh, what's that?
Dispatch from Quartz Hill. Vern Fawcett arrested Braid Holcomb. Holcomb apparently tried to escape. Vern killed him.
Killing anybody's unhappy business, even for a marshal in the line of duty.
It must be, because Vern turned in his badge yesterday. Quit cold.
Well, just because of the shooting?
Dispatch doesn't say. Just says that Holcomb's two brothers and their cousin are out gunning for Vern right now.
I didn't think Vern had run.
I don't know. They seem to think he's heading back to Tombstone.
I hope not. That could mean trouble for his family.
Yeah, family feuds come easy for gunslicks like the Holcombs.
And for some nice people, too, like the Fawcetts.
What do you mean?
Well, Vern's brother and father come to a boil a lot quicker than some people. And if the Holcombs start riding them...
Yeah, you're right.
I'd best go out and talk to Ben and Gabe.
Good. I'll go with you. My horse is down at the livery stable. Why don't you pick me up as you pass that... Didn't waste any time getting here, did they?
They're gonna waste less time leaving. Wait here, Harris. Hunk? Tip? I guess this must be the cousin, huh? You boys have come to town looking for trouble. You can stop right here.
You mean that bushwhacker Fawcett? Even he wouldn't be fool enough to come here. Everybody knows this is where his family lives.
Then why have you come to Tombstone?
We thought we might mind our own business. You ever try that, Sheriff?
Yeah, once that I can remember. Isn't that why two of you spent last spring in jail here?
Yeah. Put on 6-7 pounds. Just eating, doing nothing.
Well, you go right on doing nothing. Because if you do anything, you'll be lucky just to wind up in jail.
Sheriff, you'd be surprised just how lucky we can be.
You got until dark to clear out and stay out. And if we don't, then your luck will run out. You've got less than 5 hours.
Trouble? Could be. I'm gonna ride out and see Gabe and Ben. I'll be back as quick as I can. You keep an eye on them, right?
It's the sheriff, huh?
So it is. Haven't seen Clay in quite a while. Well, good seeing you.
Gabe,
Clay.
Ben?
You looking for something, Sheriff?
Oh, no, just noticing your hand. For just the two of you, you do a real good job. You know, if I had a spread like this, I'd quit my job so quick it'd make your head spin.
Maybe, maybe not. The lawman in our family don't feel that way.
Maybe Vern does. When was the last time you heard from him?
We got a letter last week.
Clay, there's something on your mind. What is it?
You don't know?
No, what?
Vern turned in his badge yesterday.
Do you know why?
All we know is that he quit his job right after he killed Braid Holcomb. And Braid's two brothers and his cousin are out after him.
You saying Vern yellered out?
I'm not saying anything.
You're sure hinting it, though.
Ben, please. You figured Vern came back, huh?
I just hope that he hadn't.
Don't worry. The Holcombs show their ugly faces around here. They'll get them blown clear off.
Holcombs are my problem, not yours, either of you. Is that clear?
Listen, if they come gunning for us or Vern, then the only thing
Don't
to do...
get so all fired excited, Ben. You already seen the Holcombs?
They're around. And if Vern shows up, I want you to keep him out of sight.
You mean hide like he's scared? Maybe you think he is.
Clay, you're the law here, but you gotta do something fast. If we get in trouble with the Holcombs, we'll blow them clear into the next county.
You remember, Gabe. I've warned you.
Come on up to the house and see if your brother's come home.
They didn't even know what had happened. What about them?
They're still in the Elhammer.
They'll be stoking up on Dutch courage.
Yeah. Think there'll be trouble even if Vern doesn't show up?
Even if. I hope he's 1,000 miles away from here by now.
Something wrong? You two look like you've just seen a ghost.
Maybe we have. Name of Vern Fawcett?
Ex-Marshal Vern Fawcett had returned to Tombstone, and a welcoming committee comprised of the Holcombs was waiting for him just across the street.
The way you two jumped when I came in, I thought maybe I'd done something wrong.
You have, Vern.
Wrong? In resigning?
Coming back to Tombstone.
I put his horse out back, Clay.
Thanks.
Why? I've got as much right to be here in Tombstone as the next man, even more.
Maybe he doesn't know what happened since he quit.
You think they ran me off? The Holcombs?
Something did. What?
I'll tell you what. That star that you're wearing. A badge that gives one man the right to gun another one.
It also makes a very good target. Men get killed wearing it.
You shot men, Clay. I never did. You squeeze that trigger. You feel that gun jump in your hand. You watch a man as he crumbles, sprawls. Then you hear that rattle in his throat.
Vern.
Yeah?
The Holcombs are across the street right now, just waiting to get even. We're lucky they didn't see you when you rode up.
You mean you're letting them stay?
Not stay, just wait. Look, I don't like killing any more than you do. Killing or being killed.
Clay didn't want to do anything until he was sure you and your family were safe.
Where do you think you're going? Over there to face 3 guns? Are you prepared for that?
I'm going to ride out to the ranch. Maybe stop by and tell Sally I'm back.
Sally?
Sally Reed, my girl.
No, you're not. You're going out that back door and you're going to make tracks for Tucson.
Run out now when I know they're here?
I think that's what you want too, Vern. Look, it happens to everybody one time or another. Something about seeing another man die makes you sick. But there's nothing to be ashamed of in getting buck fever.
No matter how I feel, I can't run out on Sally, or my dad, or my brother.
You're not running out, Vern.
You just ride to Tucson. Sit tight. I promise you I'll talk to Ben and Gabe and make them understand that you're doing it for their sake.
And if I won't?
And you're going into one of those cells. Protective custody.
Don't you mean you're going to have to put me in?
You want to make a break? Go ahead. Try it.
No. I can't, Clay.
All right. Now, once you get to Tucson, you wire me. You'll be back in Tombstone just as soon as the Holcombs leave.
Road to Tucson goes by the crossroads to their ranch.
I know it. I'll make sure that he goes right on past. I'm going to follow him. I'm going to talk to Gabe and Ben. And once they know that he's in Tucson, they may follow him. Until we're sure that the Holcombs really are gone. Oh, and if they start making trouble, try to stall them until I get back.
This is driving me wild. We just can't go on waiting here forever. Here's your gun, Pa.
Get your own gun cleaned. If he's not here by the time you're ready, the 2 of us are going into town. We're not going to let him face 3 guns all by himself. let's go. Let's cut across to the back road.
The back road, Pa?
If they are waiting for Vern or us, I don't figure to ride into a trap.
You're right. Maybe surprise will help us when it's 2 against 3.
Could be 2 against 4 if that sheriff gets in the way. Nobody's gonna hang around gunning for us or Vern. Come on.
Let's sit down. I'll go take a look.
Anything?
No. We're running out of time.
I thought you were so sure that tin badge would run out and tell his old man we were here.
If they're waiting for us, we're sure not going to disappoint them. One more drink and we'll start riding.
Gabe? Ben!
Get a gun.
Gabe! Get back here! I'll cover you! Ben!
Looks like the Holcombs will be staying in town after all.
She was alive.
You were right, Clay. Buck fever's like anything else. Give it the right medicine and it'll burn itself out.
Gabe! Well, how you two fellas doing?
Well, Ben's fine, just a little nick.
Doc Cunningham says I can throw this thing away pretty soon now.
Well, I got a fair exchange for you. I got one of these, says deputy. I'll trade it to you for that cane.
No thanks, Clay. I think I'll see how good I can do with a rope and a branding iron and Sally if she'll so have it.
She'd better have you or the whole Fawcett tribe will come after her roaring for trouble.
All I ask is when she says yes, you tell me. The epitaph can use a social, civilized item for a change.
Well, so long, Bill.
Bye.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.